How to make it less likely that your man, your woman, your husband, your wife will not murder you. Uh-oh. Whoa. We hear that in the news and many people are just shocked. Like, whoa. And those who are more shocked are those who personally know these individuals that has happened to. You know, and even though women can murder men, wives can murder husbands. That's always a possibility. But generally speaking, I mean, at least my personal observation is it's typically the man that does it to the woman. Although they hear something recently about a woman that allegedly poisoned her husband's drink or something like that and murdered him, and that's still allegedly. So we know that typically men are the ones that's doing it, and if you know that couple here and you see them as nice and sweet, and I was get shocked. But we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. We don't know what's going on in the mind of each individual, what they're thinking about. The person could be smiling with their partner and seemingly lovey-dovey, looks like they're nice and in love, but inside there's some things brewing. A devious plan is brewing. But how can you make it less likely, very unlikely, that your spouse, your partner would ever murder you? Typically we think, wow, someone that murdered me, being out of all people, wouldn't be my partner. The one that I've been romantic with and had kids with, and like, whoa. Wow, well, there's different factors, but I'm going to touch on a very big one. Selfishness versus selflessness. Uh-oh. This is a world where we are easily very selfish. It's always about us, everything. My money, my pleasure, my entertainment, me. And many people tend to not really care about other people. I mean, there's people that seem like they care about their family, they care for their family, they provide for their family. But there's people that do provide for their family, their kids, but they're doing it out of duty, obligation. And once again, that person may say that they love their kid or they love their spouse, they love that relative, and they may, on the outside, seem like they love, but on the inside, they really don't. It's all for a show, a facade. They really don't. That's all the Bible says about having a love for the truth. I don't want to disobey truth. Heed the truth. I want to love truth. I don't want to just be with my wife and have this outward appearance of loving her. I want to actually love to love her. But ladies, and I'm gonna speak to the ladies here because it's generally the men that are hurting y'all. Not just physically, men are typically physically stronger, but emotionally, verbally. Women are doing verbal as well, but men are typically the one that's going the extra mile and going full-blown murder, right? And you meet these guys, you talk to these guys, and man, they seem nice, man, on the outside. They seem so charming and sweet, and they're making their money, man. Man, he works out, he has a great physique, he just has things going on. He's a hustler, he has great hygiene, right? Right. But as you observe his daily life, is he always just about making money, take care of his kids, and that's fine? Like I said before, a lot of people do it mostly out of obligation, because they really want to even love their kids. They may say they love their kids, they may claim, but inside, do they really? Because they don't want to get in trouble, they don't want to pay child support, they don't want to get in trouble with the police, the law. I know if I don't take care of my kids, come on. I know if I don't work, I'm gonna suffer. I can't eat. I can't pay my phone bill. I can't pay my rent, my mortgage, my utility bills. I can't save for that vacation, get that car. So a lot of us are doing it typically out of motivation for self. For self. If I don't do this, I'm gonna be left without. If I don't do this, I'm gonna be punished. But does he think about volunteering? Library, daycare center, orphanage, church, or the community. Typically, I mean, obviously, you don't have to do that, but typically people don't do that. You don't have to go and do that. Technically, you don't have to volunteer, because you can not volunteer and still be good, still be straight, still live a great life, right, economically and relationally. But it says something about a person's character when they do that. Wow. When they actually go out and help people and serve people and volunteer and do things that they technically don't need to do. That tells you something about somebody that, wow, you actually have some sort of real deep care and concern and compassion here. Because typically most people are not going to just do things, help people like that, volunteer, unless money's attached to it. Wow. So, in not all cases, but in many cases, people that truly go out there and help people selflessly, volunteer and serve the community without payment, wow, those are people that truly have at least more compassion than other people. And also people could be doing it for selfish motives though. They could be like someone that starts a business and writes off their own taxes, the amount of money they gave to charity. We on the outside would say, whoa, that person is so amazing, that company is so amazing, so ethical. But maybe it's really for the tax write-offs, right? But typically speaking, people do serve others without payment. They typically, I think, have a higher quality about them than those who don't, right? And that's people who are typically very selfless and have a high standard for life. They value life. In this world, many movies and video games, many of them, they don't value life. Everything is about just vengeance and killing people, and I don't care, murder them, kill them, and just nonchalant about it. Like life is just so expendable. I don't care about life. But very interesting. I want to read two verses. There's two verses from the Bible that will bring the point home here. Genesis 4, verse 8 to 9. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. Like the Bible puts that in there twice. His brother, come on, of all people, man, your brother. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? He said, is that my problem? Is his life my problem, my issue here? I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about protecting him, guarding his mind, guarding his emotion, guarding his life. I don't care about his life. I'm worried about me. I'm not trying to, be of service to him, protect him, and make sure he's all right. No, I'm out for me. And the world will say, look out for number one, which is you. So he had a selfish mentality. What am I gonna care about him for? Am I supposed to look out for him? Implying, no, I'm looking out for me. And that's a factor that leads to people being murderous. They're selfish. But man, somebody that would go and feed the homeless or pray for people on the street, or try to help rescue kids who are being sex trafficked, and without no money attached to that, giving some money to somebody and no string attached, and someone that's falling behind on their rent payment and mortgage payment. Wow. Somebody that's out there, working against injustices like, crimes of all sorts, violence, shootouts, crime, dealing with the mafia, gang violence, going to these slums and ministering to the prostitutes, and ministering to the those who are in gangs, and those who are on drugs, and those who are suicidal, those who are depressed. That tells a lot about someone that, wow, you value life. That you help these people who are in such deplorable conditions. You're not even getting paid for it. And a lot of people wouldn't even know what you're doing. That I believe, in my personal perspective, in my opinion too, that person is very unlikely to murder you. That's someone that's worth hitching to, marrying. All right. God bless you. I love you.